I weep for Tanzania. I do not weep for Tanzania because Tundu Lissu, the opposition leader, has been arrested and charged with treason. His crime? Calling on Tanzanians to boycott the elections unless electoral reforms are implemented. Is that a treasonable offense? No, it's not. It is not. But that's not why I weep for Tanzania. Even though that deserves my tears, our tears. I weep for Tanzania. Not because Tanzania sold the sea gateway into the country, the Dar port. Tanzania has sold that to Adani, a foreign multinational, an Indian multinational. Who does that? How do you give up the gateway into your country? But that's not the reason that I weep for Tanzania. Even though that too deserves my tears, our tears. I weep for Tanzania because Tanzania remains a sleeping giant. Tanzanians continue to wallow in joblessness and in poverty. Yet, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere envisioned a country where every single Tanzanian has a shot at a better life. But now that shot mostly belongs to the politically connected. The people of Tanzania need to realize that we are standing with them. They need to realize that they, the people of Tanzania, are we the people, and that's the most powerful force in Africa. Nobody can stop the force of we, the people. I weep for Tanzania. I pray that those will become tears of joy in the coming months.
Welcome back. Before, I'm so pissed off this issue. I'm so pissed off. What is really happening? What is happening in the country of Tanzania? Because now this is a matter that is forcing us as Africans to come in. This is a matter that is forcing Africans to come in. Because now the people of Tanzania is like they have been oppressed. They have no more voice to speak. How can you charge people with a treason case because they went on the street to ask for their freedom, for their rights? How can you start to rule a country like your own property, like your private properties? Now today Tanzania has turned into a hell, because we have been coming here to speak and condemn everything that happened in the country of Tanzania. And the world have been watching over everything that is happening in the country of Tanzania. And maybe we think like maybe this woman is going to change the situation, and he's going to reparate the people who lost their life and release everyone who was arrested during that period of election. But now again, situation is worsening every day. Today, the people who have been arrested, 150 citizens who have been arrested and charged with treason case, they are all the people who went to protest. They don't acquire any weapon. They never went to destroy any property. They never killed any person. But they are just the people who just went on the street to fight for the freedom, crying out for their voice, asking for justice. But what was given against them? Arrest, and they are being charged for treason case. Do you know what treason means? Treason case means that you are needed to be dead. You are going to be hanged. That's treason. That's treason case. That's a case that is being held to the people like terrorists. So do you want to compare these citizens with the terrorists? Do you want to compare these peaceful demonstrators as terrorists? Because now if you can take these young people to be taken to jail and be charged with the treason, it means that you are turning the innocent citizens into terrorists. So today, we as Africans and the youths, we are not going to sit down and watch all this happening. We are not going to allow this to happen. You know what? Whenever I see this kind of videos, it makes me to remind that once upon a time, Africa was under slavery. Africa was under colonizations. Because everything that is happening in some of the African countries, it looks exactly as how things was happening during colonization and slavery. The people who lived under slavery, who lived under colonization, they lived this kind of life whereby nobody had the right to go on the street. Nobody had the right to go and question the government. Nobody had the right and go against the will of the leading governments. Whatever the government comes out with, you have to agree, no matter how it is, no matter how harsh and how hard it is. And that is what we are trying to experience today in some of the countries like Tanzania and Uganda. So, first of all, this woman who has today turned into evil, she was not expected to be the leader of this country. It happened like accidentally, just because of his predecessor to pass on. That which forced her to be endorsed as a leader of this country, whereby she was expected to go and contest for the presidential bid. And when citizens decide that they want her to rule over them, then they could have turned out and vote for her. But what happened? She just decided that she want to take this country by force, and she has succeeded by doing that. And now
there's a woman now who is staying in power now. She won 98% of the votes. Wow. Hi. 98%. No rigging. Wow. Congratulations. 90. Come on. Put it on 52. 57% is okay. Why 98? 98. Turn to someone next to you and say, women.
she has not ended there, because during that period of election, many youths have died. Many youths were unalived in the country of Tanzania. We called this a genocide. We called this atrocities. And again, instead of this woman coming down and maybe trying to balance the situation, she is coming to worsen. Now, despite being a leader, this is a woman of the community who have that pain and that feeling of a woman who have that pain of having the children or bearing the children. So how can you wake up, stand up, and start to treat the children of other people, of other women, just like animals? Tanzania is a country that today we are asking questions. Where is democracy? Is this country one of the countries in Africa? Where is democracy? Because I can remind you, if you remember what has happened just last month in Kenya, after the passing of the retired Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, the whole country mourned. The whole African continent mourned the death of Raila Amolo Odinga. Why? Because this man sacrificed his own life for the interest of the for the interest of the Kenyan country. He sacrificed his life. He went through a lot. He passed through difficulties just to make sure that the country of Kenya is in safe hands, to make sure that the people of the country get justice, to make sure that the country and the government works under democracy and rule of law. And he worked so hard to make sure that nobody is above the law. Constitution guides both leaders and the common citizens. So today, what we are watching happening in the country of Kenya, you see just the people wake up in the morning, whenever they decide they go on the street, they demonstrate, they fight against the government, at the evening, they go back home. The next day, the same. They can wake up today and decide that they want to go to the presidential office and cause chaos, and nothing can happen because they believe that they have the right to demonstrate, and the constitution guides that every citizen has the right to demonstrate against the government as long as they are doing a peaceful demonstration. So where is democracy in the country of Tanzania? Where is democracy in the country of Uganda? We've seen many youths on the border of Tanzania, in Namanga, the Kenyan youth trying to break and enter the country of Tanzania because we are pissed off. We are tired of these things. We can no longer sit down and watch evil happening in our to our brothers and sisters, because we have many people here in Kenya whom their relatives are in Tanzania. We have many people from Uganda whom their relatives are in Kenya. We have even foreigners from across the world who are living today in Tanzania. So how can they be living in peace while the situation of Tanzania is happening as how it is today? Many people came out to speak about this. African Union came out and disclosed the truth about the victory of Samia Suluhu. ICC came out because many human rights advocates went to petition the victory and the genocide and the murder of innocent people in the country of Tanzania to ICC. So we have been expecting that something is coming which is about to hold this woman responsible. But again, what's happening? Something that is coming is against of what we have been expecting. So this is the time, because all that is happening in the country of Tanzania, tomorrow it can come to happen in our country. Tomorrow it can come to happen to your country, wherever you are. So all that is happening today, whenever you see African youths are standing up to criticize all these evils, whenever you see African youths are standing up to criticize all this evil that is happening from our neighboring countries, we know this, that when we sit down and watch over this, we are next. Because our leaders too will sit down and feel like, even the country of Tanzania did this and they're just free. The country of Uganda did this and they went free. So where do the freedom of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was fighting for? Where was the freedom of the founder president or the founders leader from this country were fighting for? Because this is not what they were fighting for. Our freedom fighters were not fighting to liberate African countries, to free African countries from the colonizers and give out to our fellow African and black people so that they can continue oppressing their people in the name of leadership. This is not what they were fighting for. This is not what they were calling upon. This is not what they fight until the time it cost their life. So, Africans, how can we help this? How can we go through this? Because we are just sitting, watching this happening. And this is the time now. The world will come to realize the power of the youth. This is the time that our African leaders will come to realize that this position that getting today, they are not the one to make the decision if they have to lead us, or we are the one to make the decision of who to lead us. They have to differentiate this. The power belongs to the people. That's why the people are being given the chance and opportunity to go and select their own leaders, the leaders of their choice, but not the leaders selecting against themselves. Because when you go through the voting process of the country of Tanzania, Madam Samia Suluhu was competing against herself. How can you go to contest in a presidential election bid when you don't have a stronger opposition leader? Today, among these 150 youths or citizens who have been arrested and charged with treason, one of them is the Tundu Lissu, the opposition leader of this country, who maybe, if he would have not been arrested, he have been the president of this country at this time of moment. But again, he has been arrested, charged with treason. So which law are this country using? Which democracy is running this country of Tanzania? We have many leaders, like Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, a lady who is leading the country of Namibia. She is fighting against the tough men who are there to oppress African, who are there to sell the African youth and African resources, who is fighting against the imperialists and the Western influence in Africa, while other women is fighting on how to take power as a dictator, how to kill people, how to jail Africans or his people or her people who are only going on the street to ask for their rights, to ask for freedom, to fight for justice and liberation of their country. This is not right. This is not right. And we as Africans, we have to stand up. We have to stand up and make sure that we are going to do something, because all that's happened today, it is not humanity, and we cannot sit down, watch this evil happening. I'm so pissed off. It pains me. It pains me so much, because all that's happening, I'm asking questions. Where is democracy? There are some people who imposed to us this democracy. They told us that democracy will help Africa. Where are they today? Where are America? Where are France? Where are Britain? They are all watching everything that's happening in this country. They told Africans that they will protect Africans through democracy. That's why they introduced this democracy to African land, so that every leader will be working under this democracy. So today, people are being oppressed, being killed, and they are watching. Where are they today? What are they doing? Are they seeing all that's happening? Now, this is the time that we as youth, we have to show the world that we are the power, and the power belongs to us. We are the reason, we are the people to decide who to give the power. We are the one to decide who to rule us, but not the people, individual of a group of individuals who are sitting down and making a decision without our concerns, making the decision that is going to oppress us, making the decision that's going to destroy our life. This is not the time. We have to fight. We have to wake up, because the time of colonization passed. The time of slavery passed. This is the time of each and every African to wake up and make his or her own decision that will never cost his life, but not these mind games that it's being brought before us. So, wherever you are, this is the time. This is the time we have to fight. We have to wake up and say that enough is enough. All these people who are being wanted dead, we are praying for them, and we are going to fight for them. We are praying for them, and we are going to fight for them, because now this is where our responsibility comes in. This is where our power and our efforts comes in. Once upon a time, Dr. Pombe Magufuli, the late president of Tanzania, said that he don't want to regret one day that he made a mistake. And his words is today living and echoing in the ears, in the minds of Africans, because all that he was trying to fight against, all that he was trying to speak against, that he don't wish to happen one day, that's what is happening today. And because he's no longer there, he can't come and stop this. We are going to stop this. We are going to work towards his words and make sure that all these evils come to an end. This is the time of new Africa. This is the new time. This is the new era of the African leadership. Tell me how the comment section, wherever you're from. If you're really going following up all that's happening, if you are updated, let's meet on the comment section. Let's speak out. Let's share our ideas and really know what is supposed to be done. Until next time, be blessed, reaching from.